I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction, here with your feeder flash for Friday, August the 10th, where these seed corn caps are out in force. And I don't mean that disparagingly, just profiling a little bit, but what I mean is farmer feeders. A farmer would be dressed head to toe in seed corn company swag, if you want to call it, but a lot of times you will see them wearing a seed corn cap, but that is just kind of slang for saying that the farmer feeders are out in force. And all week long, talking to guys, especially in Kansas, they didn't have many northern Missouri sales to really bring them out, and so a lot of them went to Kansas. They was in Fredonia, Kansas on Tuesday. They were in sales around on Wednesday. They were in Salina, Kansas on Thursday, and Salina had a whale of a sale at Farmers and Ranchers Livestock there. We're going to talk a lot about that here in just a minute. Let's look at the board for Thursday. October live cattle down $1.95 to end the day at 109.05. August spot live cattle down $1.57 late in the week when they're trying to get trade put together, ending at 108.25. And you remember way back when we had $1.14, which was a week ago today, here Friday. October feeder cattle down 77 cents at 149.20, and your August spot feeders down 130 at 149.35. But your fat cattle trade, we've had some little trickling of trade all through the week. Through Wednesday, they'd sold 12,400 head in your 5-area feeding region. Your weighted average through Wednesday was like $1.12.16. On live steers, it was $178.59 on your dress steers. Thursday, we had quite a bit more trade. We had more trade on Thursday in Iowa than we had in the whole 5 areas through Wednesday. Had 12,600 head on Thursday morning in Iowa, mostly at $1.10 live, and from 174 to 178 on a dress basis. They had more than that in Nebraska. 13,000 sold on Thursday morning in Nebraska, and we still haven't established our price yet. That's just a little trickling of trade, but 110 live, but most of the sales dressed from 175 up to 179. We did have one pen reported in Kansas. I think it's more significant than all the other trade I've talked about so far, but did have one pen in Kansas trade Thursday morning at 111. If we don't have a breakout session on your futures market in either direction, I'm thinking that 111 probably has more to do with what the market's going to be than all those other prices put together. But you wonder what's going to happen to this market when our supplies of fat cattle start to tighten. We've been running all summer long here up through early spring with big heavy supplies. Your packers knew it. They've been very comfortable just playing the game. Our cattle on feed numbers have been heavy for the last couple of months. Our show lists have been heavy, and they will continue to be probably another 6 weeks or so. But at some point they're going to lighten up a little bit. And our domestic demand has been outstanding. Our exports again this week have been just great. And a lot of great demand to sop up all this dressed meat that we're putting out. But wait till these numbers tighten up a little bit. And I think I've been saying it all summer, and I think we've got a lot to be bullish about in this cattle market. But your box beef cutout values stronger than last week by $1 or $2. Mostly choice cuts on Thursday afternoon late 206.06 up 33 cents. Your afternoon select cuts 198.09 down 77. Your choice select spreads just under $8. Your slaughter for the week this week through Thursday 477,000, rebounded from last week's lighter kill. That was 5,000 more than last week, 9,000 more than the same week a year ago. Your dress steer weights on your actual information coming out for July the 28th, the week ending there, had dress steers averaging 874 pounds. That's 2 pounds heavier than the previous report. your feeder cattle markets, your real-time index on Beef Market Central, been hanging right around 150 here all week. That's what your index is, both CME and your real-time index, both just loitering right around 150. So just on an average cut, that's what your 800-pound steers are worth cash in your auction markets. But ended the day late on Thursday at 150.12, up 30 cents from Wednesday's close. But you look at some auction markets, and I told you we were going to talk about Salina, and boy are we. Farmers and Ranchers Livestock in Salina had an awesome sale, 4,500 head. Talked to 2 or 3 different guys while they were at the sale. They were just couldn't believe it. Although your federal state market report was not available late Thursday, we do have the automated market report from Cattle Market Central. You can see quite a bit right there. If you look at the trends on both feeder steers and heifers where they were best tested, firm to $5 higher than the previous week. And they did have a lot of featured consigners there. Toby Watt had his cattle in there, several loads of cattle. That's a featured consignment for Farmers and Ranchers. Everybody's got their featured guys, but just had a great sale. All your order buyers were there, and a lot of new faces, a lot of faces you just see once or twice a year, but a lot of farmer feeders coming down from Nebraska, from over in the western side of Iowa, coming down buying some cattle. And the heck of it was, both your order buyers, your feedlot guys, and your farmer feeders both wanted cattle, and they both wanted those good green yearlings that they had in there, some of the later cattle coming off of the Flint Hills and north of there. But just a great market there. You look at the biggest tested weight there was your 800 to 900 pound steers, 1,343 head of 8-weight steers, averaged 838 at 151.99. So that's $2 better than what your index levels are for your middle 12 state average, on your weighted average there for your index. But look at an individual quote out of Salina there. 130 head of steers weighed 838 pounds at 157.25. Wow. Okay, let's go to the southern part of Kansas now. Pratt had a good sale, 2,200 head there. Feeder steers called steady to $2 higher, and feeder heifers steady to $4 lower. And we've seen that split this week around, and a lot of that has to do with your farmer feeder guys coming down. The only reason they're buying those cattle is to add value to their corn. They want a place to dispose of it. Well, a heifer will quit you before a steer will. You don't see many 1,700 pound heifers, but you do on the steers, and that's what they want to do, and they want to feed them as long as they can on that cheap corn and cheapen those cattle up where they might make it. And you're just seeing that. So the guys that are coming down from the north, the Midwest, the true heartland, they were stronger on the steers than the heifers, and you sure saw that. And if none of those guys had showed up in your major high volume auctions this week, your market could have been lower the way the board was and everything. But just that farmer feeder demand coming in. Now, how much will they give for them up there where they come from? Presho, South Dakota. Individual quote, 62 head of steers weighed 915 pounds at 153.75. And how about Pratt on some cattle that might be turned out for a little bit longer? 73 head of steers weighed 685 pounds at 169.25. That's your feeder flash for Friday.